When the Father and Creator saw the creature which he had made moving and living, the created image of the eternal gods, he rejoiced, and in his joy determined to make the copy still more like the original. And as this was an eternal living being, he sought to make the universe eternal, so far as might be. Now the nature of the ideal being was everlasting, but to bestow this attribute in its fullness upon a creature was impossible. Wherefore he resolved to have a moving image of eternity, and when he set in order the heaven, he made this image eternal, but moving according to number, while eternity itself rests in unity. This image we call time. For there were no days and nights and months and years before the heaven was created, but when he constructed the heaven, he created them also. They are all parts of time, and the past and future are created species of time, which we unconsciously but wrongly transfer to eternal being. For we say that it was, or is, or will be. But the truth is that is alone is properly attributed to it, and that was and will be are only to be spoken of becoming in time, for they are motions, but that which is immovably the same forever cannot become older or younger by time, nor can it be said that it came into being in the past, or has come into being now, or will come into being in the future, nor is it subject at all to any of those states which affect moving and sensible things, and of which generation is the cause. These are the forms of time, which imitates eternity and revolves according to a law of number. Moreover, when we say that what has become is become, and what becomes is becoming, and that what will become is about to become, and that the non-existent is non-existent, all these are inaccurate modes of expression. But perhaps this whole subject will become more suitably discussed on some other occasion. That was Plato from the Timaeus. And I didn't really plan on reading that. I just typed in Plato and time and got this page. And what I'd been thinking about after watching your video was the dualism which used to exist in the Newtonian view of the physical universe between time and space. Um, Space is obviously what we see extended out here before us. Matter is space. It's this world out there. It's extended. But then the mind or time, which I'm going to try to relate here, are inside. They're not extended. They're not visible. Existence itself is this quality of time. And we can falsely spatialize time and view time as some kind of extension on a number line, say. But that's just using our experience of space as a metaphor to understand time. But we're trying to understand time as though it were something objective. Time, in the mind-body dualism, or mind-matter dualism, I should say, is the mind. It's the subjective side of reality. Matter is space. It's extended. It's objective. It's out there. You can hold it and see it. You can smell it. You can breathe it. But that which breathes, that which smells, which you could say it's really identical to the smell. There is no you that sees. There is seeing, and the seeing is you. But there is a seeing. There's not just an eye, a physical eyeball, a physical visual cortex. There is the physical visual cortex, the extended matter in space, and there is also the passage of time, or the internal subjective experience of being me, though there is no freeze frame of me. time is eternal, but when it is falsely spatialized, it appears temporal, it appears to pass, it appears to be divided into past, present, future. But from the eternal view, when we are really able to self-actualize, maybe, when we see the nature of existence is suffering, I think what that means, or what that meant to Buddha, was that time is always passing, and the very nature of existence is this passage of time, this impermanency, this, you know, eternal flux. But then knowing that, the cure is exactly to realize that time is not space. And so the fact that we exist not in time, time isn't a place. That's falsely spatializing time. We're not in time. We are time. Time is the intensity of our being. It is consciousness. Without time, there is no consciousness. And I think if we want to talk about maybe the evolution of consciousness in this context, it becomes easier to see that, for example, matter doesn't experience time. Matter sort of creates the need for there to be a speed of light, because matter provides points for light to travel between. And then matter eventually develops into life. And life converts matter and light into a new form of energy, which changes more erratically and creatively, and is more energetic, really. It's closer to the light. And so the reaction between the sun and the early atmosphere and composition of the Earth's surface sparks this life, this cellular organism into motion, and it spreads across the planet and evolves after billions of years into creatures like human beings, which can read and write and speak and create art and culture and government and wage war against one another. I don't think any other animal can hate quite as sophisticatedly and as efficiently as human beings can hate. And so again, we see an even deeper, not only are human beings using the energy of the sun to sustain their life and energize their bodies, they're using this light from eternity itself, you could say, or from an actualization of time as the subjective presence of existence or being. Once we get to that level of our experience, time can no longer be spatialized. You can't count it. It's one. It's a unity. It's eternity. So time and space used to be a dualism. Or really, we used to spatialize everything. And then Einstein came and said, no, there's one matrix of space-time, and you can't separate the two. Everything that we know about the universe is from a perspective in space-time. And that's really bridging the gap between the mind and the body, too. There's this evolutionary process going on from matter to life to mind to, you know, whatever you want to call it, spirit, where light is becoming, at first it's really opposed to matter, but then in, you know, plants and animals we start to see more of a merger of matter and light, and then in intelligent organisms like some human beings and maybe dolphins, and certainly we can see in primates and lots of highly developed animals, there's this intelligence starting to arise, and it's maybe just most pronounced in humans. And then there's a certain spiritual expression that builds on top of the intellectual development too. And these stages also seem to be a sort of merger with light at a higher, deeper level.